We'll begin with the chanting that the Pandits will do, the first Rudram, first Anuvaka. There are 11 Anuvakas in the first. We'll talk about it. First, we'll begin with the chanting. And you can sit in meditation when the chanting is going on.
नमो हिरण्यबाहवे सेना
ॐ नमो भगवते रुद्राय ॐ नमस्ते रुद्रमन्यव उतोत इषवे नमः नमस्ते अस्तु धन्वने बाहुभ्यामुतते नमः यात इष शिवतमा शिवं बभूवते धनुः शिवाशरव्यायातवतया नो रुद्रमृडया याते रुद्रशिवा तनोरघोरा पापकाशिनी अयानस्तनुवाशन्तमया गिरिशन्ताभिचाकशीः यामिषं गिरिशन्तहस्ते बिभर्ष्यस्तवे शिवाङ्गिरित्रतां कुरु माहि गुंसेः पुरुषं जगत् शिवेन वचसा त्वा गिरिशाच्छावदामसि यथा नः सर्वमिज्जगदयक्ष्मगो सुमना असत् अध्यवोचदधिवक्ता प्रथमो देव्योऽभिषक् अहेकश्च सर्वान् जम्भयन् सर्वाश्च यातु धान्यः असौ यस्ताम्रो अरुण उत बभ्रः सुमङ्गलः ये चेमागो रुद्रा अभितो दिक्षु श्रिताः सहस्रशो वैशागुं हेड ईमहे असव्यो वसर्पति नीलग्रीवो विलोहितः उदैनं गोपा अदृशन्नदृशन्नुदहार्यः उतैनं विश्वा भूतानि स दृष्टो मृडयातिनः नमो अस्तु नीलग्रीवाय सहस्राक्षाय मीढुषे अथो ये अस्य सत्त्वानो हन्तेभ्यो करन्नमः प्रमुञ्च धन्वनस्त्वमुभयोरार्तियोर्ज्या याश्च ते हस्त इषवः पराता भगवो वपा अवतत्यधनुस्त्वगुं सहस्राक्षशते शुधे निषेर्य शल्यानां मुखा शिवो नः सुमना भव विद्यन्धनः कपर्दिनो विशल्यो बाणवागुम् उत अनेशन्नस्येषव आभुरस्य निषङ्गथिः याते हेतिर्मीढुष्टमहस्ते बभूवते धनुः तयास्मान् विश्वतस्त्वमयक्ष्मया परिभुजा नमस्ते अस्त्वायुधाय नातताय धिष्णवे उभाभ्यामुतते नमो बाहुभ्यां तव धन्वने परिते धन्वनो हेतिरस्मान् वृणक्तु विश्वतः अथो य इषुधिस्तवारे अस्मन्निधेहितम्
ॐ. Yasya nishvasitam vedah yo vedebhyo kilam jagat nirmame tamaham vande vidyatirthamaheshwaram. Yasya prabhavamatulam bhagavanananto brahma harascha nahi vaktumalam balam cha sa chandika kila jagat paripalanaya nashaya cha shubhavayasya matim karut. The Vedas are called the breath of consciousness. Consciousness is that which knows everything. All the knowledge is present in consciousness. And its breath, its life force is Vedas. Often people think Vedas are in Sanskrit. It is not so. Vedas are in its own Vedic language. Sanskrit is derived from Vedas. Sanskrit itself means that which has been derived, which is modified. So it is original cognition of seers. When saints and sages sat in deep meditation, they heard. What they heard, they started saying, speaking and recording. That became the Vedas. And Rudram is the heart of Vedas. While Gayatri Mantra is the essence of the Vedas, Rudram is called the heart of the Vedas. What is important in Rudram is the impact it has. Meaning is secondary. The primary impact is its vibration. You know, words mean different with intonations. They say, come on, come on, come on is one thing. Come on. Makes a very big difference. Hey, come on. Come on. Come on. The intonation changes the whole tone, the whole meaning. And here in Vedas, the intonations are very important. The vibration of it is more important. The universe is all vibration. Consciousness is nothing but vibration. And so when people try to find meaning to the Vedic mantras, they do a big blunder. They take the meaning through Sanskrit. You take any Rudram in the Wikipedia or anywhere and read the meaning of it. Take any book and read. They have given the meaning through the Sanskrit language, which is much later than the Vedic language. So the meanings are much different. It doesn't make much sense. It is said wherever this Rudram is chanted, the Vedic mantras are chanted, the impact of it spreads to 100 villages. What does it do there? It uplifts the consciousness, makes it so vibrant. And the belief is that rains come in time, people become happy, they become free from disease. And of course, there is a lot of benefits that are said. which people have experienced over a period of time, millions of years. It's going on. So they have recorded all their observations. What does it do? How does it help? So Vedas are the seeds of creation. Like the sap of a tree, it nurtures every aspect of the tree. The bark, the fruit, the flower, the branches, the leaves, everything is nurtured by the sap. It's the DNA of consciousness, of the collective consciousness, the universal consciousness. So here, instead of going too much into the meaning, it is good to feel the vibrations of the Vedas. It's good to know a little bit about the meaning also. As I said, it is secondary. The icing on the cake is secondary. The substance is the real cake inside. Icing cannot be whole cake. Meanings are like that. And meaning from different levels of consciousness, we understand differently. As our consciousness expands, the meaning also that we perceive, we understand, will be much different. It says, Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya. The Bhagavan word indicates 6 attributes. Why you call someone Bhagavan or this consciousness, the principle as Bhagavan? Because it has lordship over everything. Aishwaryasya samagrasya. An individual have lordship in some places only. But the universal consciousness has lordship over everything in the universe. One can be a prime minister of that country, but you go to another country, he has no lordship over there. The president of a country has all the power in that country alone. An artist who has excelled in his or her field has mastery over art. Same with science. Different subjects can be mastered. But is there one who has mastered everything? Yes, that is Rudra. That is Bhagavat. That is Bhagavan, who has mastery over virtually everything that exists. Aishwaryasya samagrasya. One who has lordship over everything. Viryasya has power, enormous potential. And he has all forms of wealth. Again, wealth, we give a very narrow meaning to wealth. But wealth indicates everything. It's not just intellectual wealth. It is not emotional. It is material, spiritual. All different type of wealth is embedded in that consciousness. Shreyasya is known everywhere. He knows everything. Jnana Vairagya, knowledge and dispassion. The Lord of this universe has infinite love, at the same time infinite dispassion too. Love and dispassion being there together. Knowledge, wisdom and dispassion being there together is something you can rarely find. And Jnana Vairagya, when one has these 6 attributes, you call them Bhagavan. What? Dispassion, wisdom, fame. Fame means that it is known and liked and loved by everybody, everyone. Shreya, all type of wealth, and then lordship. Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya. No, Rudra. Who is Rudra? Usually the word Rudra immediately rings a bell on someone who is very fierce. In India, normally say, oh, he has become Rudra avatar means, oh, he has become very fierce. Rudram, the word itself says one who makes you cry. And your origin has been crying. The first thing you did coming to the planet was cry. If you had not cried, your parents would have cried. So doctors slap on your back, pat on your back, and beat you on your back so that you cry. The midwives, the nurses pat the baby. And they have they cried? Yes. You don't even need that. The moment a child is born, he or she starts crying. One of the saints here in India, he said, oh my dear fellow being, fall in love with crying. Stop your smile, stop your laughter. What you are laughing? कबीरा हंसना दूर कर रोने से कर प्रीत. Start loving the crying, the tears. Without the tears, the beloved will not appear to you. In life, we keep crying for this or that. Something or other, we keep crying the whole life. Look at the faces of people. You find a more drooping face. Only tears don't come. And even that they are conjuice, stingy. Tears will it go out. Swallow your tears and cry in your heart. You know? Put your face in the pillow and start crying. Oh, people keep crying for this or that and the whole life. And in the end, you make everyone cry when you leave. If you don't make people cry, then you have not lived a good life. Right? So the whole life is all about crying. And when you rise in love, I won't use the word fall in love. When you rise in love, tears flow. When you are grateful, tears come out of it. It's the Lord, it's the Rudra who makes you realize how lucky you are and brings that gratefulness from within you. And then the tears of gratitude, tears of joy. He makes you cry in tears of joy, tears of gratefulness. And one who makes you cry is Rudra. As I said, different type of crying. Also, see here, the meaning here are so all-encompassing. It contains the opposite. Rudra means also one who stops you from crying. Who makes you cry and who stops you from crying. Can you imagine one word can signify two opposites which appear to be very opposite in value? Opposite values are complementary. This you have heard many times. So Rudra encompasses the complete opposite values. There is nothing that is beyond him and beyond the Rudra Tattva, Rudra principle. He is both. So he makes you cry and he helps you come out of crying. And then he makes you cry differently. Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya. To that Rudra I return to. Mind word has come from Sanskrit root mana. Mana. Mind. The consciousness which flows outward. That is mind. Through eyes you see, through ears you hear, through nose you smell, and tongue you taste, and through skin you touch and feel. That which moves outside is mana. Namaha is when the mind returns back to its source. Mind getting back is namaha. Self-referral value of consciousness is called nama. Self-referral function of consciousness is nama. Now Rudram begins. You know, death is something that is inevitable. It stares you on your face. Shiva is called who dwells in the burial grounds, in the cremation ground. You know, this entire universe is a burial ground. Are there cremation happening every moment? In your body there are so many cells. Dead cells are going away, new cells are being born. You do that, no? What is it? Scrub. Body scrub. People go to all the beauticians and put scrub and... What do? You are removing all the corpse. You carry so many corpse with you. Every moment so many cells are dying. You are a mortuary. What is that, mortuary? You are a walking, living mortuary, carrying so many dead corpses with you. I mean, dead corpse, you need not say just dead bodies. So many corpses with you. So every inch of this world, this planet, there are germs, there are animals, there are creatures which are born, which are dying. Every moment they are dying. And Shiva dwells in that, means the entire universe. New stars are being born and stars are dying every day. Haven't you heard this? So the entire universe is a field of death. And the Lord dwells there. When you recognize this inevitable truth in the existence, fear disappears from you. There's nothing to be afraid of. No fear. Rudra is very fierce. At the same time, he takes away all the fear. Aghorebhyo, thagorebhyo, ghora, ghora tarebhya. He's extremely fierce. At the same time, he is so lovable, so loving, and who just removes all fear from you. Not frightening at all. So like this, so many attributes are heaped on Rudra. So many attributes are recognized of Rudra. And that is Rudram. Now he says, Namaste Rudra Manyava Utota Ishave Namaha. I bow down to that Rudra. If you read just the normal translation, it says, I bow to your anger. You would wonder, what does it mean, bowing to anger? Anger is natural. It's inborn. You just watch a child and you just don't give what it wants, it just shows so much anger. Baby, it doesn't even speak now, but a little toy you take away from him, then, it shows anger. You're holding a small toy that you only gave, and you want to take it away. No. And it expresses anger from every cell, as though his whole being is full of anger. We say only compassion. I should not have anger. No. Anger, compassion, all these opposite values are part of the consciousness, part of divinity. Acknowledging anger, recognizing it, accepting it, is in itself worship. Anger is what? After all, it is energy, like an arrow pointing out towards something. The fierce energy is part of this creation. It's there everywhere. Mind always harps on aggression and depression. No-mindedness takes you to devotion. In devotion, there is no aggression. So when you recognize the aggression as part of the divinity, everything changes. It does not trigger aggression in you. Do you see what I'm saying? It doesn't take away action. See, there is a difference between action and aggression. You are doing an action with full force, but without that attitude of aggression. Aggression comes with frustration, with weakness. Are you clear about it? All our actions are the bows and arrows. Dhanu is the bow, and Shara is the arrows. Your words are arrows. Your tongue, your mind is the bow. Then you keep shooting. Sometimes it hits the target, sometimes it doesn't. You keep shooting your arrows in the water many times, doesn't make any difference. So this simile they have said, oh Lord, this entire universe of action is all your bows and arrows. And sometimes it comes and hits. And let it be sweet. Let it bring happiness to me. This is the prayer. Let your arrows not harm me. Means let the words, let the actions, the collective action of this universe, all different actions that you find everywhere, let it all be in tune with me. Or let me be in tune with it. Let it not harm me. Let it not bother me. Sharp sun is an arrow on you. Hailstorm, cold weather is like an arrow. And it's all coming from one source, one divinity. The entire creation, if you see it from this light, that every action here is the action of the Lord, or that one consciousness, then you can see all this is arrows, bows. I recognize, I honor every action that is happening in the planet. You find gods and goddesses with different weapons in their hand. Among the weapon there is flower also. Flower is also a weapon, I tell you. Much sharper than the other mace and disc. You are hit by the arrow of Cupid and you follow in love with somebody. That's a flower hit you. You go gaga. You are smitten. And this is all arrows. The universe pulls you, pushes you from various directions and says, oh Lord, this is all your arrow. You are pulling me, pushing me in various angles. It's amazing. I just love you. I can't get over. You have so many actions. Your action is in the form of birds chirping they are chanting mantras. Jagat Guru Shankaracharya says, every animal is just worshipping you, my Shiva. I hear your name in the birds, in the chirping of the birds, in the barking of the dogs, in the moo of the cows, everywhere. And the entire creation is worshipping you. Oh, I am left out with this. No, no more. You are the Lord. You are everything, including me. The Vedas also say, Na Rudram Rudram Archit. You can't worship Rudra unless you become Rudra. So you first establish or know that you are part of Rudra, only then you can worship Rudra. Na Rudram Rudram Archit. You cannot. That's why you see, you place Rudra or the Shiva in every part of your own body. In my eyes, in my ears, in my body, everywhere. You might have seen people putting their hands everywhere in the body. So I keep you in my whole body, in my breath, in my mind, in my intellect. You are here, everything. And now let's play. The whole puja, worship must be a game. It's a play. And you can't take it too seriously. Have a long face. Hmm? Yate Rudra Shiva Tanu Raghora Papakashini Tayanas Shantamaya Girishanta Abhichakashi. You are so pure and you purify me. Aghora Apapakashini. And the moment I remember you, think of you, and you are not fierce anymore, not fearful anymore, not ferocious anymore. Aghora, Papakash, so pure and purifying. Shiva Tanu, that body which is so benevolent. On one hand says Rudra, so fierce, on the other hand Shivatanu. You are so calm, serene, beautiful. You know the word English word serene comes from Shiva. Do you know that? Shiva means serene, benevolent, sinless. Aghora Papakashi. And how I realize this? Through the words. You know the word Girija, you have heard the name Girija? You know what Girija means? Usually say, daughter of the mountain. No, Gira also means knowledge, wisdom. Which is that which is born out of wisdom is Girija. Same, Girishanta, means one who lives in the mountain. That's the gross meaning that people mean. Oh, Shiva lives in mountain somewhere, Kailas, in China. Right now. He must have a truce with communists. Or he was so dreaded by the devotees and he ran away to a place where nobody recognizes him. Shiva lives in Kailas. No, my dear. Man Sarovar. When your mind becomes like a lake, not just like a pond, not a puddle. Your mind is like a puddle. It's so small. You think only little bit only. You know, life is so vast. But look at your thinking. You just hook on to couple of people around you, and with them you have craving and aversion. You like them, dislike them, fight with them. And you make all this mess, create this mess in your own mind. Day and night you live in that little puddle. No, when your mind becomes like Sarovar, becomes like a huge lake, great lake, Manas Sarovar. On the bank of Manas Sarovar, there is Kailas. Kailas means where there is only celebration. Las is happiness, celebration, happiness. Kailas means where there is only happiness, only joy. And Shiva dwells there. That is inside of you. In fact, there is not an inch of place, millimeter of space where Shiva is not. Yet the ancient sages, to create a pilgrimage for people and to bring integration of people of various different languages and cultures, they establish 12 Jyotirlingas. Jyotirlinga means the linga. Linga is the symbol of flame, of light. Jyoti means flame. Linga means symbol. Jyotirlinga, that's where you see the flame. You must see that it's not a form, but it's energy, it's flame. You sit in meditation. And these are the places to sit in meditation. The outer, keeping a shivaling and doing abhisheka, is to create that atmosphere. Create that atmosphere, a vibration around. Don't think God is sitting inside that shivalinga. That you keep it to. You have a bell. The idea of the bell is to create that sound. Isn't it? What is the use of keeping a bell which doesn't ring? Which doesn't have a knob in the middle? Keep a bell. It has no knob. It doesn't make any sound. Does it have any sense? The purpose of the bell is to create the sound. The purpose of Shivalinga is to create that atmosphere, energy, a presence for you. Jyotirlings are established by the saints in the past. They call it also Jyotirling so that people don't confuse. The light is here, the energy is here. You sit and feel the energy, feel the light. And they're not very big, they're small. You know, a person with big ego cannot see small things. He doesn't feel it doesn't nothing much. For him, something big must be there. For a person with body consciousness, for him to feel small, he needs big statues, big idols. The kings only made big lingams in this country. Saints always made small lingams. In fact, our agamas say that lingam should, whatever statue you make, it should not be bigger than the person. Height of a person. Small lingam. All Jyotirlingas are very small. Somewhere you have to bend down. You go to Banaras, you have to really go down to even touch the Shivalingam there. But people have fantasy to have a big lingam. That's okay, nothing wrong in it. But subtler you go, things, you are able to grasp the minute and the subtlest, the most serene aspect of your consciousness, which is formless. From form to formless is the whole idea of Shivling. And Rudra takes you in that path, from form to formless. There is a word called Virupaksha. Eyes but without form. See, when you dream, your dream is of what? Do you see your dream with your eyes? Do you see dream? But do you see your dream with your eyes? No. But, when you are dreaming, do you have a form then? No. You close your eyes, your mind has a form? No. But still your mind can see or not? It can, right? Your dreams you see from an eye without form. In the same way, the consciousness which is all permeating, the Lord can see, can feel everything, everywhere. And that's what the Rudram says. And all different forms are described. There is nothing that is left in this. There is nothing under the sun that is not touched by Rudram. It's all encompassing. And to attain this, do you need any qualification? Do you have to go to Himalayas and hide there and fast for so many days or take all this very hardship and penance? Then no. You don't need any capabilities or qualification, either intellectual or physical. Many times people come and say, Gurudev, I want to do seva, but I cannot. See, what you cannot, you need not do at all. Says, I'm so weak. When you are weak, why do you need to do what you cannot? Do only what you can. See, abilities are very different with different people and it changes with time. Isn't it? Not everybody has the same ability. But Lord belongs to everyone. However they are. There is no discrimination. Your intellectual ability, your skills, your physical strength, none of this is needed to realize the divine. And so what says? Even those innocent women who carry water, usually those days, the women who carry water is a symbol for innocent, simpleton, you can say. The simplest style in living is compared with women who just carry water every day. Even they can realize, even they see you and they get, they become jubilant, they become so happy. You make them all happy. Adrishan nadrishan nudaharya sadrishtom hridayatina. Seeing you, they all become ecstatic. You don't need any qualification to be ecstatic, to recognize, to surrender, to love the divine. Nothing is needed. You make people ecstatic, oh my Lord. This is what the Rudram in the chanting he says. That you bring thrill into this, into everyone. And I am bitten by 1,000,000 snakes of all different things. I am suffering in the world, but only you can lift me up from the rut that I am in. That's the prayer. Recognizing, see, someone is sleeping, they don't see anything. The moment you are aware, you are awake, you realize all the issues around you, all the problem. When you hit the pillow, you are oblivious to everything that's around. That's why people drink, so they forget everything. You can't blame them, because they don't know any other way to get out of it. They just want relief. People who want liberation, they go drink. The innate desire is to be free, is to liberate, to get liberated. And what they do, God, booze. And you hit the pillow or truck or road, whatever. Few hours you are oblivious to your problem. It gives you some sort of peace. But then everything comes back manifold, multiplied manifold. Huh? The problems don't solve. They come to you in multiple. No. Taking refuge in Shiva, in Rudra, you are free from all this. You are free from all the pain and suffering of life. And here, he gets you out of your crying, your misery. He frees you from your misery. And don't think, oh, he or she. Well, here for practical purpose, let us use he for Shiva. He is Ardhanarishwara. Half of him is she also. You have to say he, she, them, they, like that. Actually, you can only say they, because both Shiva Shakti are together. He's Ardhanarishwara. Half of him is she and half of him is he. So they only you can say. Ahingscha sarvan jambayan sarvams. All different type of misery. You relieve them all. All different type of miseries that you see in the planet, that you see in life, are put off by you. One finds relief from all this with a glimpse of you, with a sight of you, with just being in touch with you. And what you do, you bring such exhilarating happiness, joy in us. Mridayatina. Mrida means joy wells up for no reason. Make me happy. And here it never says me, it says us. The entire Rudram, it says Naha. Naha means for all of us. There is no point in one person becoming sattvic. Very soon, the harmony of an individual who is very harmonious will be vanishing. It will vanish in no time. Unless everybody around you is also that way. And so the prayer has always been, let us all be harmonious. Let us all be happy. How can one person be happy in a home? Tell me, when there are 8 other people or 10 other, even 4 others who are miserable. You cannot. Even Gayatri mantra is same. It says, Dhiyo yo naha prachodhyat. Let the divine inspire us. It's a collective prayer. So Rudram is also a collective worship, collective prayer, collective wish. Let us all. Let's all move forward. Let's all be with you. Let's all take refuge in you. Let's all be happy. Hmm? And you are the doctor. You are the doctor of one who is suffering from the pain, suffering in this life, in the life. You are the medicine and you are the doctor. Pratamo Bhishak, you are the first and foremost doctor. See, it's the consciousness which has created so many different types of herbs and medicine on the planet, isn't it? Even the knowledge of medicine comes to us from that consciousness, or from this consciousness, isn't it? Just put your attention for a minute. Who did, for the first time, find out how different herbs affect different parts of the body? Materia medica of the universe. Who formulated the materia medica? I mean, you will be baffled. The entire Ayurveda, even today, it's not challenged which herb impacts which part of the body. All other medicinal system came later on. They are borrowed from Ayurveda. Even allopathy scholars and doctors, they admit this. Which herb is good for which part of the body? Why certain leaves affect the lungs, certain for kidney, certain for your liver. All this knowledge has been there as part of the Vedas. And you are the first one to give us this medicine. Not just the medicine or the medicinal system, I am saying, for any illnesses, mental, physical, emotional, spiritual. You are the doctor and you are the giver of the medicine. You are the medicine. Pratamo Daivyo Bhishak. So from household to the doctor, everyone has been covered in this, you see. From housewife to a professional. Anything that is under the sun or anything that is even beyond the sun, everything is covered. That is why Samagrasya, Aishwaryasya, Samagrasya, the total lordship, the totality is what Rudra is, Lord the Bhagavan. ಇನ್ಯಾವುದು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗಿದೆಯಾ? ಹೇಳಿ.
ಗೋಪಾ ಅದೃಶನ್ನದೃಶನ್ನುದಹಾರ್ಯಃ ಉತೈನಂ ವಿಶ್ವಾಭೂತಾನಿ ಸದೃಷ್ಟೋ ಮೃಡಜಾತಿನಃ ನಮೋ ಅಸ್ತು ನೀಲಗ್ರೀವಾಯ ಸಹಸ್ರಾಕ್ಷಾಯ ಮೀಡುಷೇ.
You have millions of eyes. Your throat is blue. I mean, the entire sky is your throat. Description of Shiva is very amazing to hear. Brahmanda Vyaptateha. The entire universe is your body. Space is your sky, your throat. Your eyes are suns and moon, sun. Your eyes are sun. So from limited awareness, your mind expands to the universal consciousness. And says, Shiva is, body of Shiva is huge. There is a story, the two gods went to look for the head or feet of Lord Shiva, they couldn't find. They couldn't find the head, they couldn't find the feet. So they came up, oh, he's light. Just a pillar of light. A light without an origin, a light without a beginning or an end. Jyotistama, that's why it's called Jyotirlinga, that which is just of the form of light. Light is not that which you see only through eyes. Light is that which you feel. You close your eyes and you feel the light. Can you feel the light? When your mind is calm, quiet, serene, then you feel. It's not as the element of light that you see, feel, but as a principle, you experience it. It's very difficult to put in words, but one can understand if we have a little bit habit of meditating. So that's why Vedic mantras only flow to those who meditate. Yo jagaratam vrichakkamayant. You can only understand the Vedas from a different level if you are a meditator, if you are awake inside. Not when you are dull, not when you are drowsy, but you are serene, you are calm, you are settled. Then it does something to you and makes you happy. Creates that tickle within. Tickle in the consciousness. Sahasraksha. The millions of eyes. Usually people scare others saying, somebody is watching you. Hey, don't do wrong, somebody is watching. It is not to scare, but to give you confidence, to give you strength, to find someone is with you. Don't have to be afraid. It's when you feel you are alone, that's when you're scared more. But when you know that you have someone with you, your fear vanishes. Even kids, you see. Kids are scared of their own shadow. Have you seen that? There's a video floating around. A kid is so scared of its own shadow and runs here and there, tries to fight with the shadow. And same is with adults also. We are fighting with our shadows, which doesn't exist. Our fear is all about our shadows. And your own shadow, which you have created. Turn around and you face the light. Where is the shadow? When you have your back to the light, that's when you have shadow. And Rudra is awaking you. And Rudra wakes you up to your true reality, true self. Yeah? So make us all happy, O Rudra. You are all permeating. You are everywhere. You are our source and our goal too. You are the source and you are the goal. And you are everything. And when you are everything, where is the fear? Hmm? The so-called all the negative trends are also part of Rudra. And with this acceptance, you will see the duality disappears. And duality is the cause of fear. And merging is Namah. I merge in you. Take refuge in you. And the mind merges in its source. Then love springs up. Then devotion springs up. And that is Namaha, Namaha. The Rudram has two parts, Namaka and Chamaka. In Namaka part, there is Namo, 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 Namo. It's chanted so many times. In Chamaka, it says Chame, Chame, I am this, I am that, I am this, I am this. Let me have this. So we will go into the details of that tomorrow. Yeah. It's very interesting. It's absolutely delighted. It's absolutely delightful. And Rudra, there are 11 Rudras are there. 11 Rudras. Ekadasha Rudra. Are different names. Hannond Rudra ಹೆಸರು ಹೇಳಿ.
ಮಹಾದೇವ, ಶಿವ, ಶಂಕರ, ನೀಲಲೋಹಿತ, ಭಗೋದ್ಭವ.
So there are different names for 11 Rudras. Mahadeva, Shiva, and with different attributes. If you have read Gita, Lord Krishna says, among the 11 Rudras, I am Shankar. And among the 12 Adityas, there are 12 suns. Every month, Surya has 12 names. So every month, the sun in very different angles and degrees has a particular name. Or 12 Adityas, he says, Lord Krishna says there also. I'm not going to say what he says. You find out. What Krishna said was the 12 sons who I am. So, he says, I am the Shankar. Shankara, these are different attributes. Rudra, Ekadash Rudra. In this, different. Shiva is serene, benevolent, calm, witness of all pervading, like that. And then you have Shankara, who is more manifest, more benevolent, that one who does good, brings happiness. These are like that. Different aspects of Rudra are there. And then when we go further, it says, oh, there are millions of Rudras. So many Rudras everywhere. Thousands of Rudras are present. That we will see later. Okay? Now, so this much you understand. The Vedas, the Sanskrit is derived from the Vedas. Like Latin is the original language. From that English has come. Latino. So, Latino, no, what is that? Latin, no? Yeah, Latin. So, the original Vedic language is where the Vedas are in. So Sanskrit you can only find some clues you will get, not the whole thing. So you must know, like the sap nurtures the whole tree, Vedas are the sap of consciousness. And what is important is not its meaning, but just its vibrations. Feel it. Haven't you experienced this when you sit and listen to the chanting and feel nice, no? That's all. That is most important. The vibrations speak for themselves. They translate itself into the meaning. Good. Let's sit with our eyes closed and chant Om 3 times. Relax. Take a deep breath in. Jai Gurudev.